I don't know why I've sat down. I need to play in this now. I think I'm going to put it in that bench vise. Am I? Or am I going to put it in that one? I'm going to try it in that one, and if it doesn't work, then I'm going to put it in this one. So since I've got the headstock face plain smooth, I might as well get it trimmed roughly to shape. There will be a lot of fine tuning, but the shape that I'm roughly going for is the same, or a slightly modified version of my normal 6-in-line headstock. This is, I think I showed this in a previous video, this is the offcut from the face of another base that I did. So if I line that up and get that nice and centred there, we should be just about, there we are. So if I follow along where the strings would be, this should line up quite nicely with the same point in these holes. Where are we? I'll probably do some modification to it. I can probably bring it slightly closer so it's not sticking out quite as far. And there we are. I'll draw around this. In fact, no I can't, there's a volute on the back. I need the length. So I'll draw around this and then I'll take it to the bandsaw and I'll just trim it roughly and then probably kind of bring in the curves here a little bit with the spindle sander. And I'm not getting it fine to its final shape at the moment. That will happen later on when I've thicknessed the back and added a veneer and everything to it. But it gives me an idea of what I'm working to and takes away some of the bulk, like the corners and things up here that I don't really want getting in the way. Bandsaw. So before I finalise the headstock shape, I want to double check where my tuners need to be. Obviously on this I drilled them for where the strings were coming, so I'd have a completely straight string pull. However, this had a much wider nut, it was more of a P-bass type neck, whereas this is a much thinner jazz bass type neck. So they might change. The taper is obviously already cut, so I know what the extent of my neck is going to be. So if I use a nut spacing ruler, or a string spacing ruler for a nut, and a pencil, I can mark out where all my strings are going to be. And they're going to run almost parallel with the lines here, so I'm then able to kind of transfer that measurement right to the end. so I can kind of gauge it and put in the tuners or figure out where the tuners need to be. When you're marking the tuners, don't take the measurement from the centre of the string. Don't forget that the tuner post is going to be offset from that, because the string doesn't come off the post from the middle. I've seen it done quite a few times, and I've measured it like that myself in the past, and then luckily I accidentally misaligned my template and they worked perfectly. But I realised afterwards what I'd done, and it seems like a very sensible idea, but it's not, because it doesn't work and you end up with all your strings going off at an angle somewhere. You don't want that. So I'm going to figure this out, and I'm just going to faff about for a bit. So I'm going to call this a usable kind of neck blanket now. And then I'll see you in the next video. God knows what I'll be doing then. I need to find some wood for a fretboard. I haven't got any yet. We'll see.